Well, and that's what I finally come up with, Chris. So I have this in Infinity for electronics, making things. I got a CNC in the background. And I'm like, now with AI, everything clicked together. And basically, Grok told me, listen, if you go do your hardware, it's going to be fun for you, but at the same time, you're learning, and it's going to be directly applicable to your core business. And so now I feel for the first time, Chris, everything like connects, everything makes sense. Like everything feeds the other part of it, everything's synergistic.
So these electronics, these things that you're building, how is that feeding into your profit trigger business?
Because it's helping me understand AI at a hardware level, at a first principles level. Because with software, you're so abstracted up.
So why would understanding it, the hardware, be something you need?
Well, you don't need it, but it helps solve things. So, for instance, if you're having a square wave, right, or if you're having AI try to predict whether it's a cat or a bird, right, that down at the perceptron level is basically hardware. It's going down to resistors and capacitors, and it's built up from that. And so there's noise in the system, and that noise follows all the way up through the software. But if you understand the essence of that noise, now I know in software there's noise in there. I know it because the noise is in the hardware. And now I know to look for the noise. And now I know how to measure it. And it may not be measured with an oscilloscope or a meter, but there's other tools where I can measure that noise. But I know it's there, and I know it's going to affect my decision up front. So I'm not confused about why did it choose a bird? Why did it label this a bird versus a cat?
Okay, I get that, and that helps you understand the way it works. And
Yes, right.
from an abstracted way, if you understand the way it works, you can optimize for it better downstream or upstream.
Yeah.
But my question would be, where that skill really seems valuable to me is that once you understand that, then you just apply it to software. And it's not what software or what end product you're going for, which is your company's marketing tools, but it's like you can add value to every software by understanding the way the hardware works. But my question is, that seems like a lot of work to go to just to do your little piece of the software, as opposed to why don't you just, offer this service to software in general?
I don't know how it connects. I may do that. Because when I bought this kit and I realized that I could run a localized AI model completely off the cloud on a $200 computer, all of a sudden I'm thinking, wow, that could open up a whole new market. Nobody else is doing
I mean, that's got nothing. I don't say it's nothing, but nothing I can immediately see related to the business you've been building for the past year.
No, it's the same problem because being able to predict what the cat's going to do before it knows what it's going to do means that I can predict when somebody's going to drop off an email list and I'm going to send them a bounce back coupon based upon their behavior. It's the same thing. So I'm training this cat thing to understand how that cat works.
Is the benefit you're bringing to the world that you understand how things work, so now you can make a better marketing software AI?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
is the value you bring to the world, you understand how hardware works, you can make every software better?
Yes, and yes.
Because those don't seem like the same business to me. One, you've picked a. Okay, I'm not trying to talk you out of this. I'm trying to figure out the value statement in the effort you're putting into learning this stuff.
Yeah.
It's such a broad base to understand. It's such a core principle thing to understand. And you seem to be applying it in a very small area.
Yeah, because everything's built from that. It's a first principle. That's why you can get a better answer if you understand first principles.
I think there's something in the way I'm thinking about this that feels like it's your solution. The thing you're solving for is small scale, considering how big and broad your base understanding is.
I mean, it could be. I mean, to me, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, if you can shred the argument, please.
Well, okay. I'm going to get a little grand on this and say, let's say you figure out what causes cancer and how to cure cancer.
Okay.
And you go and you figure out just how to cure skin cancer. Now, yeah. I'm going to say just because obviously learning how to, just curing skin cancer would be a pretty massive thing. But you understand what I'm saying is you now understand how cancer works and you can cure all of it, but you decide to concentrate on that.
Okay.
All right. And so a lot of this, I got assumptions going on. I'm limiting the scope of your solution. I'm doing all kinds of things in my head here, right? So you can take those things apart. But that's kind of the feeling I get is like you're building this grandiose understanding of the way the world works, and you're just going, and I'm going to make this little thing here. is the way it feels. So
Yeah, because that's the way business works. Because if you try to solve everybody's problem,
okay,
nothing happens. You got
okay.
to niche
So
down
so this
on
is really
something.
aligned towards I want a successful business that makes money, so I'm going to find the niche, and then I'm just going to understand. So it's not about everything I can do; it's what I can do for this solution. Is what you're saying.
For this market segment, yeah.
Okay.
Because I've got a lot of background in that market
Yeah.
segment. I
So when
understand
I
it.
look at it, I'm like, you're building an understanding of the world by going to first principles on this, and
Yes.
then you're applying it to here, and it feels like all that effort you went into, you could do this, but you're doing this. It's kind of the way it feels to me.
Well, yeah, but that's what Musk does. I mean, he has one company that launches rockets. He has another one that does satellites. He has another one that builds AI. But all of his different things, they all kind of link together. They weave and feed each other, you know? The AI company feeds it feeds the car, it feeds the Tesla, the satellite,
Well,
or the rocket
the batteries especially,
satellites.
right? Batteries feed
Yeah.
it all.
But it also, Chris, the reason it works for me is because this is my interest. It's like the thought of building something, experimenting and learning and curiosity is now what I would normally do and just think. Now I can thinking and actually get to build something that could make money. So in my mind, everything is linked now together.